Today's pick was an international favorite that made headlines even throughout America. Do you know which one it is? 200-Pound Beauty. The original Korean title is actually 미녀는 괴로워, which means the mistress in distress. But 200-Pound Beauty had a little bit more allure to the international fans. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, here's a preview.
하나씩 내 말 들려?
이 남자하고는 절대 안 돼. 될 수가 없어.
When the night has come and the rain is dark and the
그리고 얼굴형은 지금 셋 남았네. 심은아, 이면, 이영애 두 갈래.
왜곡된 거울 따윈 이제 지워버리는 거야. 그만 다시 하자. 그만. 괜찮아요?
기사 양반 피나 아저씨
아이 진짜 아이 괜찮아요.
This movie tells the story of Hanna Kang, an overweight singer in the very aesthetically aimed entertainment business of Korea, while also operating a very special service as a phone operator for some very special clients. She's often overshadowed by the person that she lends her voice to, Amy, and she also happens to have a huge crush on her manager, Sang-jun. However, mean old Amy knows very much well that Hanna really likes Sang-jun, so one day at a party, Amy decides to humiliate Hanna in front of everybody's eyes. Really embarrassed, she excuses herself to go to the bathroom, and Hanna overhears Sang-jun and Amy talking about her. Sang-jun, however, didn't really take her side. However, he said, "You should be really nice to Hanna, or else she's gonna leave us." Heartbroken, Hanna decides to try to commit suicide, but ironically, she's interrupted by one of her very special clients. Remembering, however, he's a plastic surgeon, so with that information in hand, she decides to blackmail him, and she decides to do a head-to-toe plastic surgery makeover, and she becomes the Kim Ah-Joong that we all know now. She comes out looking gorgeous. Even her best friend couldn't recognize who she was. But there was a problem. How is she going to make money now? She decides to audition for the same company that she used to work as a ghost singer for, and she made a new identity, Jenny. But Sang-jun and Amy both still needed to keep Amy's career alive, so they kept on trying to find out what happened to Hanna, and shortly thereafter, they find out Hanna's actually Jenny. But Sang-jun is so focused on success that he decides not to say anything and lets Jenny debut on her own. I don't know if you've heard the song or not, but Maria turned out to be a huge hit, both in the movie and in real life. But in the movie, the debut was such a success that they decided to throw a company party. But everything was shortly interrupted afterwards when Amy brings Hanna's real dad to the party. Jenny, trying to keep her identity, decides to ignore her father and act like she doesn't know him. This, however, infuriates Sang-jun, and therefore, he admits to her, "I know who you really are." This brought out a very tearful confession from Hanna, telling Sang-jun she is definitely in love with him. He, however, isn't really convinced, but he decides to manage her concert anyways, and she decides to do it for her own sake. She decides to go ahead with the concert despite Amy trying to ruin her. and problems within the company. What she didn't expect, though, was for her best friend to bring her actual dad to the concert. Oh boy. During the concert, Hanna sees that the guards are actually trying to take her father away for causing a ruckus, causing her to scream, "Stop!" Right then and there, she decides to admit to the whole public about her plastic surgery and who she actually is. The crowd, however, had a very nice response, and they were all chanting, "괜찮아," which means it's okay. She decides to drop the name Jenny, and she comes back as Hanna herself, true to herself, while Sang-jun is still promoting her. He realizes maybe he really likes her, and he's always liked her. Maybe he's always liked what's inside the whole time. Who knows? The movie was actually inspired by a Japanese manhwa, also known as manga, that came out in 1997 called Kanna's Big Success. And a lot like our own story, Kanna had a head-to-toe plastic surgery, and she was living a very successful life until somebody that knew her secret tried to come along and ruin it. The movie was also a huge success thanks to its hot chart topper called Maria. If you haven't heard it yet, you should definitely give it a try. Another fun fact about this song is that Maria is still one of the most played K-pop songs in YouTube, which is very admirable considering the video only has a picture of Kim Ah-Joong. The video itself has around 3 million views, which is very admirable considering usually the most popular Korean artists who aren't internationally recognized only have about 1 million views. Although internationally it gained a lot of good criticism, a lot of people thought that it was a very original plot and it was really cute, and it was really nice to see somebody be very proud of who they are regardless of plastic surgery. A lot of Koreans thought that it was a contradiction, considering that she was facing difficulties even after plastic surgeries. A lot of Korean people thought that it was a very contradictory plot and it showed a false reality of what Korea really is. A study came out reflecting plastic surgery in Korea, and the study reads as follows. While plastic surgery is somewhat a controversial topic in the West, in Korea, plastic surgery is a phenomenon that is still vastly changing the country in many, many ways. Nowadays in Korea, it's no longer a social stigma, nor is it viewed in a bad way for a person to receive plastic surgery. Korea, as many may know, is deeply rooted in Confucius traditions, but due to the economic growth that South Korea went through in between the 1950s all the way until the 1980s, many doctors went abroad to acquire experience, thus bringing plastic surgery practices to Korea. The influence from the media in Korea only pushed forward with the idea that I must be beautiful, and thus South Koreans who had the money had the procedures that they wanted done. In Korea, surgery isn't viewed as a bad thing anymore because here, social structure, social conformity, along with peer evaluation is a very present aspect of Korean culture. Well, this concludes episode number 2. We hope you had some very insightful information on Korean culture and society, and we hope you come again. Until next time, bye.